Hello, my name is Mitch and I draw Blood Force. And today we're taking a look at the making of page 20? Yes, page 20 of Blood Force #1. And this is a page I was looking forward to for a while. This is the first page I envisioned. Sure, that's absolutely the correct word. Yeah, this was the first one I came up with when I first imagined the series. Or when I started plotting it out, at least. It's the most Liefeld-esque page, I think. We're going to have a shot at the top of the Clerg going about their business, and then a big shot on the left here with Hard just punching them into oblivion, and then big close-up of Hard looking much creepier than a superhero should. This one was very quick. I basically got it done in about 24 hours. Which is a bit of a record for me. I'm quite a bit slower. And yet, not much necessary in the way of blue lines, because I've had this page in mind for quite a while. The execution is, I wasn't as sure about, but that's part of the fun, is figuring out exactly how you're going to go about doing it. So this particular take on it, it's not bad, but I don't end up actually sticking with it because it looks a bit too creepy with the gritted teeth and the underlighting. So I should end up erasing that, or fixing that up fairly soon. And yeah, I'm usually pretty early about ruling my panel borders now, so that's nice. Yeah, just having fun fleshing this particular... Yeah, the eyes and... I had difficulty with the eyes. I wasn't sure what to do with those. So it's like, let's try spacing them out. That looks wrong. That looks very creepy and wrong. It does still look kind of imagey. Like specific artists. I'm not sure who. Maybe like early Scott Clark or something? One of those image apprentices. Ah! Jesus Christ. I think I patched it a little bit in between the takes there. Yeah, so... Holy shit. So, yeah, I decided to go with the open mouth and the overhead lighting. And I think those are the final eyes. I went through like 5 or 6 sets of eyes. That's terrifying, though. Just go from the gritted teeth to, ah! Okay, now we're trying to get to this pose here. Which, again, I've had in mind for quite some time. Just the actual execution is a little... I'm not sure. I've never tried this particular kind of pose before. I didn't want to go with the straight... You know, there's like a classic Liefeld pose for this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Badrock did this one several times where, you know, you get the fist thrusting downwards and he's kind of like, you know, you see like the top of his back and he's just kind of flying in, the speed lines everywhere. And that's like a standard big guy punching pose for impact. And I wanted kind of the, I don't know. I think that's a little weak as far as impact goes. So I wanted something that implied a bit more actual physicality. I don't know how successful I was. I mean, I might as well, I may have very well gone with the Liefeld version, and it might have been just as successful. And that's a straight up, like, Larry Stroman Guido pose there. Like, that's not remotely human. I'm okay with it if it works. I think there's a bit too much shoulder in that one, though. Yeah, like how far back, how far do you need to stretch the shoulder pad to make it make some kind of sense? Yeah, constantly need to reference these other clerk guys to figure out how to draw the masks and everything, which is probably going to end up with their masks slightly being simplified. Uh, I really think I need to come up with just a character sheet of these things, make it as intricate as possible, and then I'll ignore things every once in a while when I do a like a long shot or whatever, but then go, okay, no, this little techie bit goes here, this fin goes here, and less likelihood of slacking on the armor. I'm trying to come up with some real ragdoll physics on these clerk going flying instead of just, you know, spread eagled or that kind of thing. Wanted to get the sense that they were like spinning off. And that guy there, that his head got knocked off, apparently. Just exaggerate the muscles more and more. And that hand looks very busted. Maybe it's a defensive wound. It's possible, right? He got his hand up right when Hard was punching. That fuck your hand right up. No, did I forget? I think I did. That one I went a little light on the penciling because that's the least fun panel on this page. But then you want to make sure it doesn't look like shit. So you got to come up with something. Okay, so the wailing off to the side head pose, we've decided doesn't work. This head is too big, but it's in proportion with that arm is the problem. And it's safe to do the panel separations here because I know exactly what this is the layout. I know exactly what this page is going to look like for a while. And this is a little mind-numbing. There should be some kind of like artist tape or something I can probably use to achieve this effect a lot quicker, but no. We're just gonna rule it off and color all the borders in. Or, you know, you could do it in like, yeah, Photoshop. That would be a lot quicker too. Gonna have to learn how to Photoshop though, and I'm not gonna do that. No, I think I'm going to use this border a few times. It does look pretty good. And this is one of those borders that's used reasonably often among the image guys. I do still have difficulty getting a reasonably smooth line out of these brushes, though. I'm not sure how to... I think I should probably be moving the page more if I want to actually get it smooth, but that doesn't happen too often. And we're really going to go to town on these face lines here. It's my first attempt at a straight up Liefeldish, huge close-up. We need to imply that this dude is like 700 years old. And I kind of get why, this ends up happening with those imagey kind of things. This is fun stuff to do. This filling in the head folds, the forehead folds. And there's that fear of white space, right? It's not necessarily that it makes it look low effort. It's just like, oh god, this is, everything else is filled in. This needs to be filled in too. Yeah, really get a Incredible Hulk kind of vibe off of this here. So, if you ever wondered what it would look like if I drew the Hulk, it would be pretty similar to this, I imagine. Maybe put some Sam Keith chest hair on him, just to, go with the most iconic version. And so much cross-hatching. And now we get to do the tiny teeth. The all equally tiny teeth. No different sizes. No different shapes. Except on the bottom row where there's molars. No molars on the top row, though. Yeah, shade over those. Those molars look too good. Dude, fill that thing in. It looks like he's like carrying an egg in his mouth. There we go. Yeah, I think that looked all right. And like, again, this panel took no time whatsoever to pencil and ink. Like a couple of hours, maybe. And it's just fun all the way through. Still trying to figure out those neck stretchies, though. I think I'm getting a little better at it. I just love watching this fill in. Just, that's good stuff. Yep. Oh yeah. Probably should do the metal head thing too. Yeah, not too bad. And fill in the, yeah, get a little bit of glare in the head shinies. And that's pretty much done. Yeah. It's nice when you can just go start to finish on a panel. I mean, I guess you always can, I just usually don't. Do like 85%, then start on the next one and leave the hard shit for the very end when I want to get off this page. Is that what everybody does? Yeah, more lines. You can always use more lines on these close-ups. That is one craggy forehead. We're going to make Heart a Klingon. Yeah. And so the arm gets a little skinnier here. And as soon as you skinny up that arm, you go, oh, wait a minute, that head's way wrong now. Do I realize right away? I don't think I do. No, it must be this hand that's wrong. Let's fix the hand. There, well done. Looks right now, right? And tighten up the pencils a little bit. No, you're sticking with the head. Come on. You must have realized by now. That's all the fun stuff. All the bumps and folds. Yeah, we need another dude. More alien debris. A little difficult to tell what's going on there, but again, I'm going for the ragdoll thing. Just looking at the final thing, it's like, oh yeah, that is in there. What do you know? There, oh, still leaving that head, eh? Nah, that goes pretty soon. There we go. Okay, yeah, smaller than that. There you go. Still looks a little bit big, but I think that'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, that is what the ending proportions are, and the end product looks pretty good. Get that broken hand in there. There we go. That ink looks a little thick, those lines. Sometimes think that, I don't know, the lines I'm using will just close up when I shrink them down. Assuming, of course, I do. I mean, if this stuff is all going on the line, it might, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter, because we're just going to be, you'll see it in original scan definition. You can blow it up if you want. All that kind of crap. I'm still trying to remember to put in some veins on hard, like as many as possible. There's a bit too much, the one on the right there is a bit too much of a close-up. It can't really fit much in there. And this one actually turned out to be too much of an action shot. That's why you need those mid-range poses. Really work those veins. And this is some tendon guessing on the wrist here, as usual. Always a good time to do some hatching. And that fist doesn't look quite right. It looks more like he's, like... It doesn't look so much like an uppercut as just raise your fist at a hockey game kind of thing. When your team scores, that kind of thing. Yeah. As one does. And now we get to fake in a bunch of underarm muscles. I got no idea what's in there. I'm not looking it up. Let's see if we can really max out the striation in here. Again, I don't know why this stuff is fun to draw. It just is. See, I think when we get to a point where there's like some actual interaction going on with anybody watching this thing, then I can like start to address things that are brought up in comment sections or, well, probably not emails, but DMs, that kind of thing. And there won't be quite so many quiet spots on these videos. Assuming you're listening to the commentary, not just like putting on some music. I know I might. I think I've basically figured out the shading on these. I still don't know what this material is. I think it's probably leather. On the straps there. You know what? I don't think you put in enough lines. I think you better put some more lines in under there, under the arm. Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure about the perspective on this. It does look a little bit like he's just got kind of a nub sticking out of his hip there. I think everybody knows what's going on there, though, where it's kind of foreshortened leg going backwards. Yeah, fill in the metal undies. Yeah, no wonder this went so fast. There's no cuts or anything in here, I don't think, for the most part. So it's just like, yeah, no, okay, now we do the leg. And where I'd normally be like, okay, I'm gonna take a short break. It's like, let's finish inking the leg. This is fun stuff. I have no idea how his boots work. They appear to be some sort of solid. Like plastic or something, or metal, I don't know. And they're formed around his calves, but I don't understand them at all. I just understand the general shape. I look forward to, like, eventually getting to the point where Blood Force is published regularly and popular, and people start trying to cosplay as these characters. And being like, how the hell do you work these these boot things. The hawk stabs are going to be good. Just, yeah, people walking around with, like, I don't know, styrofoam tubes hanging off their forearms. Just flinging them all over the place. Oh, yeah. That was smart. Let's try using whiteout on a French curve. I'm sure that'll go great. So I can see what I was going for there. I know what I was going for, but yeah, it didn't work out too well. But did I learn my lesson? I don't think it did. I think there's a couple more of those coming. There we go. Should be dry by now. And we'll try it again. And one more time. Quickly, get it off there. And yeah, I'm not going to be trying that again anytime soon. It's still smudged. Better to just, you know, take the whiteout pen and just freehand it. Assuming you're going to go that way. Yeah, like this. So all those attempts at veins and tendons and all that, just, yeah, get that out of here. And I think we're kind of out of fun stuff to draw on this page. For the most part. We do still get to do the speed lines. Which, again, for some reason are kind of enjoyable. And this was kind of nice too. This is the ragdoll physics. Again, I kind of hope I end up doing these as floppies and shrinking them down. Because those things are a little simplistic looking. Gotta put a little bit of gristle in there with his head popping off. Yeah, that guy gets run of the mill. Bad guy flying away. And this is where I decided to change his hand so it's a bit of a better angle for an uppercut. That's going to take a little while to dry, so try and ink everything else around him. Actually move the page. I think I'm doing that a bit more these days. So that's roughly what these clerk heads look like from the top. Kind of a segmented cockroach kind of look. I feel like that's on the wrong side. A circle thing. Maybe it is. It is a little hard to tell what exactly is going on there. Yeah, turtle feet. I think I was going to do another foot there and just like that doesn't look like a foot. Yeah. More filling in panel borders. That's just the best time. It goes so slow. Just like, oh my god. This usually goes so much faster. So this is at 6 times speed. So however long it takes to do this here, 6 times that in real life. I don't know, like 2, 3 minutes. Just filling in that panel border. That's too much time. Yep. Get rid of the front foot. Okay, so that hand's probably dry by now, right? Ugh, very smudgy. That kind of looks like stuff. That looks like a hand. Well, you know, like you can tell it's supposed to be a fist. It's supposed to be one of those under-designed rifles. Are you drawing something down there, or what's the deal? Come on, man. Remember what we're doing here. Well, I guess it looks like it might be. So this is the part normally where I'd like speed up, like fast forward, but it's like, oh, no, I can't really do that with these commentaries, I guess, huh? I could just cut this out, but I'll bet you I'm gonna fix it any minute so that you can see what's going on. Any minute, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be so good. Just you watch. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn. That kind of worked. Look at that. Oh, that's his shoulder, yeah. I'm like, is that his ass? And yeah, starting to lose patience with this page a little bit. Getting a little sloppy on the inking. Always happens eventually. And yeah, we tried to indicate that he's getting punched, cracked his armor. Although, as we've seen, as we've shown with Hawkstab, slicing through them, that armor's pretty paper thin, so I guess it doesn't really indicate that was a particularly hard hit. Oh, and I've determined that little whiteout spot is the focal point for all these speed lines. And something about the, well, it's not exactly precision, but yeah, just the completion aspect of this. We're getting the line on one side of the obstruction, getting it on the other side, and putting it right to the border. It's, I don't know, it's very satisfying. Oh, yeah, and I kind of forgot where the circle was. It's right there, see? I think I forget again later, too. I always keep that shit in mind when I'm starting on the inks on something. And then always forget later on. longer ruler. Yep. And I mean, once we're done these, this page is like 4/5 done. Maybe not in terms of actual amount of ink on the page, but in terms of actual real estate. And that's pretty cool. Just about there. Yeah, I did forget a little bit. The circle there. Just a bit, though. And that should do it. So now, do a bit of erasing, I'm guessing. Yeah, so that we can white out the extra lines. There, and these guys. There we go. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. Could do the top a bit more. I might do that actually now. Because that doesn't exactly look like a circle. And I love these clerk guys here. Just kind of going about their business. Doing their fighting and not noticing Hard sneaking up on him. Because he's so goddamn sneaky. Really, they deserve to get beaten this one, I think. Oh yeah, now we got to try and figure out what these guys actually look like in profile. And it's a little bit like the Spy versus Spy guys, if I'm being honest. At some point, I'm going to have to figure out what their heads look like under there, and it's like, you got to fit something in there, somehow. Or you just ignore it altogether. And just make like regular size human head, or like maybe even enlarged head. And just, wait, what? They've all got Doctor Who police box helmets. This is the only guy who realizes something is amiss. I say that guy should get promoted, but he's probably the dude who ended up with a cracked face. Yeah, looks pretty good. But we're just, yeah, trying to put in some, you know. I mean, we're trying not to skimp too much on detail here, but it's like, man, get a shape done so we can get through this page. All the fun stuff is gone. It's been gone forever. There's a guy pretty much done, and he took up like a quarter of that panel. That's pretty good. Yeah, and realizing that these guys aren't super complicated. You can get them done pretty quick. And they all kind of look the same. So it's like, okay. Just knock them out. Don't complain. 'Tis the coming of the Birdmen. Oh, and I don't think did I finish this, or I don't think I finished the filming of the inking here, because I went to go look up something for these guns, and then I think I pretty much shut it off. Yep, that's it. Okay, so we should be looking at the finished page now. I mean, the rest of it didn't take that long. But yeah, no, I enjoyed this page quite a bit. I think it does exactly what it's supposed to. It did not change very much at all from what I originally thought. And yeah, this is the kind of stuff. It's these are the pages I'm getting at, where it's all just fun, knock it out in you know, a fairly short amount of time kind of thing. Get some really silly poses in. This is almost like the culmination of like, you know, it was all the stuff leading up to this has been, okay, get it out of the way. And so this is you can do the dessert of these ridiculous action pages. And I'm enjoying them about as much as I hoped I would. So that's always nice. So next page is page 21. I have completed that now, actually. So that's all right. And it's just more fighting stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, so hopefully I might actually be able to finish this this issue before the end of the year. I mean, I don't exactly want to jinx myself there, but that'd be pretty sweet. In the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter, and you can see the pages as well, I mean, you know, I'll put up some stuff on there anyway. If you actually wanted to see all the pages on these, I do put them on my Patreon, along with sketches and these videos. Speaking of these videos, if you like this one, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notifications, all that stuff. I did this out of order. This is usually where I say the Twitter and Patreon stuff, so I don't know how to finish. Okay, bye.